Jonathan and Nick from Radio Tokyo, and this is part 2 of the WoW subscription loss video. Now, the reason it's a part 2 is because I at least went back and listened to some of what the earnings report had to say, and I talked to Nick about it, and we thought it was best to just do a back and forth about it. I'll go ahead and say it now. It's worse than what I think a lot of us were expecting. So, Nick, what's your initial reaction before I get into the reality of what was said?
Well, from just the pure numbers or subscription numbers that you said, it's actually what I expected. We've had, Siege of Orgrimmar, like you said, was for 14 months. And then Warlords of Draenor has come out, initially strong, but clearly not a great expansion. So we've had about 2 years now, not to mention that Pandaria, a lot of people didn't like it necessarily because it had pandas, and they thought that was silly or whatever. Not that I agree with that, but so we're looking at what, a 3-year period now of WoW not exactly meeting expectations in one way or the other.
No, actually, we're looking at 6 months. Exactly 6 months of World of Warcraft not meeting expectations.
No, I mean from the fans' point of view.
Hang on. Let me put this in perspective for you and for everybody else. World of Warcraft, the last time the subscriber numbers were at 5 point some odd million was December of 2005. We are currently lower than we were during all of Cataclysm, as I said, which is regarded as one of the worst expansions. We're lower than we were during Mist of Pandaria, including the 14 months of Siege of Orgrimmar. Lower than any point in time during Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King. I mean, literally, we're at, the first couple of months of the game existing. We're that low subscriber-wise. But the problem with this is that we're already 2 or 3 weeks into quarter number 3 at this point in time. The thing that I actually overlooked initially in the initial video, and what a lot of people seem to have overlooked initially, is that Blizzard's quarter 2 earnings included all of 6.2. It included, Fury of Hellfire. It included flying being added in, and it included a very, very important thing, and that was the WoW token. the reason, actually, the WoW token is the most important thing. What the WoW token is, as most people know, is a real person can spend $20. I'm sorry, yeah, $20 to buy a token, which is $5 more than a regular month-long time card. It's 25% increase over the normal cost of a month of playtime. What tends to be is that these certain individuals, who have extra money, to spare, will buy these tokens and say, well, I want to try and get gold caps. And, they'll buy 5, 6, 7 WoW tokens and put them on the auction house, and then someone buys them so they get the gold. And then what happens is the individuals who are buying these tokens, effectively, to them, they're playing the game for free, but in reality, they're not. Blizzard is actually earning 25% more off of a single individual. So you have,
Well, actually, it's 33%.
Which is that's even fucking worse. What you have is people, a handful of people are actually floating the community who's like, well, I get to play for free now. Blizzard is earning money on you spending your in-game fucking gold to play their game for quote unquote free. WoW has effectively gone free to play at this point in time, as of the second quarter. And the reason I'm saying that is the 5 point some odd million subscribers that we found out that we have today includes the people who are paying gold to play. If you remove those people, like if you generally remove them, the numbers are frightening. Now, I don't know exactly how many people are, paying with or buying WoW tokens to play, but it's reasonable to assume that it's at least 1 million people. So we'll just say 1 million people, and go with that. So that means there's at least 4 million people right now who are actually paying. Now, I'm one of the few people who actually pays actual money. I don't buy WoW tokens. I refuse to buy them because I'm not going to help fund a fucking company that does not give a shit. And they don't, really. I'm disappointed in Blizzard at this point in time, and it pisses me off because it was back during, I believe, Cataclysm or so, that Blizzard actually bought most of their shares. They bought like 60% of their shares back from Activision so they could get control of their own game. But yet what we see is the game has steadily gotten worse, and now it is effectively free to fucking play. And it pisses me off. I'm angry about. I'm angrier thinking about it right now than I have been the entirety of Warlords of Draenor, because what this one earnings call says is Blizzard doesn't give a shit. When they announced that 6.2 was going to be the last patch of the expansion, that means fuck it all, we quit, we're going on to other things. So within less than a year, Blizzard has just washed their hands of this expansion and have given the finger to people. Like, for a long time now, I've made a joke that at BlizzCon, Chris Metzen is going to walk out on stage and just give everybody the finger and say, we've got your money, fuck all of you, drop the mic, and walk off stage. No, it wasn't Chris Metzen. I was wrong. It was Ian Hazzikostas.
Okay, where to start? Let's see. Alright. Number one, I have completely expected this for a very long time. Excuse me. Um, dang. Sorry about that, folks. If we look at the game, right? We've had Mists of Pandaria, be it Cataclysm, The Mist, then Warlords. The Cataclysm, as you said, has been considered the worst. A lot of people think Warlords is the worst now, which I probably would tend to agree with. And then you have Mist, which I would actually think is a good expansion, but a large population of the player base would disagree highly with that. So what you're looking at then is a 3, 4, 5 year period of just the fan base being not happy. Now, Warcraft had several advantages that kept it afloat and kept that subscription numbers high. Mainly, there was a complete lack of competition for a very long time. Sure, people have repeatedly said there have been WoW killers after WoW killer after WoW killer, but nothing has even remotely come close. One of the interesting things is now that they actually do have a small level of competition from the Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 14, which a lot of people um, think is or has been a better MMO since they redid their version. Um, but you have now a 5 year period, something like that, of an unhappy fan base. You have Blizzard clearly knows that Warlords is a lost cause, so they're just going to abandon ship at this point. I honestly can't blame them. I kind of would want to move on from this as fast as possible as well. And we have seen them diversifying their business heavily over the past couple of years. StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a huge moneymaker.
See, it's actually a really good thing that you just mentioned, Diablo, because believe it or not, for the second, maybe third expansion in a row, we actually got the same fucking excuse for where all the subscribers are gone. Oh, they're in the East. They're in Asia, and Activision Blizzard's you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even going to call them Activision Blizzard. I'm going to call them money grubbing assholes from now on because that's effectively who did the call. It's people, who wear suits and are like, you know what? We've never played this game. We don't give a shit about what people think about it. We want our
Well,
money. That's who
no,
made
no,
the
no, no.
call. That's who made the call.
This is
Those people,
yeah, but no, 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 no.
those
John,
people,
John,
those people.
John, John.
Hang on. Those people are the ones who keep saying all of this shit is on the backs of the Asians because they pay by the day to be able to play or hour or whatever the hell it is. No, it's not. You people, you have there's like 235 people according to Ian has a cause. Do you know how tired I am of hearing Ian has a cause? This is his name come up at this point in time. But no, according to him, there's 200 some odd people who, work on World of Warcraft right now. And look what we got. God damn! In the call, I believe it was Mike Morhaime who said, well, what it is that 6.2 was the largest content release of any expansion. No, what it was the game. It was just copy pasted, and they added new skin to it. I mean, the shipyard is the garrison 2.0. Instead of followers, you have ships. And it's pointless. Look at Tanan Jungle. It's Apex's daily grind. After Apex's daily grind, there's jack shit there to do. The only good thing to come out of 6.2 was actually Hellfire Citadel itself. That's it.
But John, this is a business call. I mean, we know it's a business call. This is for the suits. This is for the investors. This isn't for the fans. This conference call is not for the fans. Now the presentation they're going to be doing in 2 days will be for the fans. That's meant for us. This is purely business right here. And what Blizzard is doing... Wait. What Blizzard is doing right here is they're saying that we know our game is not doing well. We know WoW is on the downturn. And we're diversifying. We're working to cover the income that we're losing because WoW has been the backbone of Blizzard for so long. It has been the staple. It has been everything that Blizzard is and stands for over a decade now. if WoW goes down and they can't show that the rest of the company will survive, or even if WoW, is on the downturn like this, and they can't show that the rest of the company will survive, Blizzard as a company will end. That's what this conference call is. That's what this is for.
I know that, but see, here's the thing. It, it it's
I completely agree with you. Warlords of Draenor is a terrible, terrible expansion, and it
no,
pisses me
okay,
off.
look, okay. I know this is a business call. Like everybody and their mother and their dog knows this is a business call. This is people in suits talking about numbers. But when your business has been categorically in the past to do what the fans want, to make people you're make oh Jesus, okay. Did you okay, in the documentary about the history of World of Warcraft, they repeatedly said that they do shit in this game to make people happy. That's what they started Blizzard for back in the late 80s, early 90s. That's what it was started over, was to do things that they liked and that they knew people liked. No,
But
no.
wait,
Hang on,
oh,
hang on. Let me make this one point. Let me make this one point. If retention mechanics are what people enjoy, all you have to do is go ask Zynga how well Farmville is doing and how well it has been doing, because that's all that shit is. And I know I used to play Farmville, and everyone else I know used to play Farmville, and now I know maybe one person, and that is my mother, who gets on Farmville once every month. Retention mechanics don't fucking work.
yes, that's true. But that's also what I was about to say and reference is the Farmville example. Um, Farmville has been highly successful for a while, and this expansion, you can tell this expansion was a stopgap from its design, just purely from its design. Think about it. We're going back in time to a different world, completely taking us out of the story that they had been building up for so long. Um, Cataclysm, the war in Pandaria, um, the Wrath of the Lich King. Like all the stories were focused on Azeroth and everything building up in Azeroth, and then instead of focusing on that story more, they completely took us out of it. They completely removed us from the story, and that's oddly one of the biggest problems I think Warlords has is just it feels like we're playing a different game at this point. And it didn't help that they tried to use those retention mechanics, um, which oddly enough we did like in Pandaria. We just didn't like it to this extent. That was the problem. They it's not that it wasn't a good idea. It was that they executed it horribly. They just did horrible decisions with it. The garrison should have never been where the players hung out all day every day. It should have been more like the farm in Pandaria, where you go there, do your thing, and then you go back to the city or wherever you're going. That's
But
how it
see,
should have worked.
the farm in Valley of the Four Winds, it, I'm okay with it. I don't know anyone
Yeah,
who does
that's
not
what I'm
like.
saying. It
Yeah, I
it
know.
it was a retention mechanic that worked because it wasn't the focus of the game. The problem was when they made it the focus of the game, whether intentionally or unintentionally, the garrison became the focus of the game, and it felt like we were playing Farmville, which is clearly a problem, which is why they're abandoning it. They are completely abandoning it because they know that they have screwed up. They have
But see,
majorly
but see,
screwed up.
but look. Hang on. There is another fix to here. It's a fix that everybody has wanted for nearly a year now.
We
Everybody
do.
likes garrisons. Garrisons are pretty damn badass. If you know how to work your garrison, you can make a damn fortune in the game. You can get geared using your garrison. Oh hell, I did it. I got geared past like up to heroic Heimal using garrison quest and shit only. That's all I did. I didn't run heroics or anything. I just used my garrison. It's a fantastic tool. But what happened is Blizzard looked at that and said, you know what? You know what? We're going to focus on getting more stuff in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up to non-jungle, and we're going to do this. No, no, motherfucker, I played in the beta. The beta was beautifully done. I loved it. There were problems with it. There were severe problems. But do you know what happened when it went to live? We had the same goddamn problems because Blizzard didn't address them. Instead, they made them worse. They took out having the two capital cities because they wanted to put more emphasis on the garrison because that's going to make people play more often. And what it did is it entirely gutted the idea that there are people who now,
That's
like
exactly
trying
what
to
he just
recruit.
said.
I know, but like people now, trying to recruit for our guild, they're like, you know what? I don't need to be in a guild anymore. You don't. Like the MMORPG, massive multiplayer. They have looked at that and said, no, this is now a free to play game for individuals to play. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. If you want to do that, I'm all for that. But no, instead, Blizzard and I'm sorry, Activision. I realize it's Activision's fault here because Activision is a bunch of dicks to their player base. They have been for years. They don't give a shit. And now they're making Blizzard don't give a shit. Blizzard is the only game company, other than maybe Nintendo, who is consistently given a good goddamn about their player base. And with Warlords of Draenor, we got all these things that are clearly coming from Activision. The idea, well, you can only have so many numbers of dungeons. You have to do this. You have to do that. Now, you know what? I know two people who play Destiny regularly. Okay, I know people who play Destiny. Destiny is for all its popularity, for everyone who enjoys it. It is one of the biggest goddamn jokes in the gaming community right now because
It's a horrible game.
you're doing the same stupid bullshit repeatedly, but you're getting better at the game. Now apply that formula to World of Warcraft, which has forever been about end game. We have one battleground. It's a piece of shit battleground. I'm sorry. I like Ashran. It's a fun place to go. It's a nice sandbox idea, but it doesn't work. The PvP community has quit over that. Rated battlegrounds have gone to shit. Arenas have gone to shit because we haven't gotten a new arena in over 2 years. We got one added in with Mr. Pandaria, and that was goddamn nearly 3 years ago now. So for 3 years, we haven't had a new arena. There hasn't been a new battleground since Mr. Pandaria. And like I said, all we've got is Ashran. No one likes Ashran. It sucks. There's so many ways to fix it, but Blizzard won't fix it. They're like, oh, we're going to add another objective in there. Who gives a shit about the objectives? Who gives a shit about having to go to Ashran every day or rather once a week to get, a piece of gear in a box that you can get during a rated battleground? Who gives a shit about it? Because the reason is it's going to be some worthless piece of shit you can't even use. You can't use it. Rating sucks. High Mall sucks. BlackRock Foundry sucks, except for Black Hand. That's the only fight there that matters. Now, from what I've seen of Hellfire Citadel, I like it. It's actually very well done. But you know what? Tanan Jungle, the zone it's in, that was originally supposed to be a launch, that was supposed to be the level 100 zone, not in the Grand. It was supposed to be Tanan Jungle. It sucks. We were supposed to get Farallon. We were supposed to get all this other shit, and we didn't get it. And Blizzard fucking failed. They dropped the ball with this expansion. It's sad. It's pathetic. They have failed the community. Now, I understand, they're probably acknowledging, sure, it's fine that we screwed up and we want to fix things, but you don't fix things by dropping them off and running away. That's what Donald Trump does when he declared bankruptcy 4 goddamn times. You fix the problems.
Well, let's see. Actually, I would disagree. BlackRock Foundry was actually a fun raid. It's just not a lot of people did it. But anyways, yeah, I mean, well, The problem here is that Blizzard clearly does not care about Warlords. They never cared about Warlords. From the beginning, they have not
No, 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 no,
given...
no, 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 no. No, I think at BlizzCon when it was announced, Blizzard cared. I think they really, truly cared. And the reason I
Well,
say that is the reason if you look at the initial statements about what we were going to get, Blizzard cared. They actually gave a shit about it. And then beta comes around, they gave a shit about it because they designed a beautiful game. Now, see, like the only people at Blizzard right now that I cannot hold accountable for this shit is the art department. They did a fantastic job.
oh, it's
I
gorgeous.
love the art. I love the art department on World of Warcraft so much. I would marry every damn one of them. But no, everyone else, thanks to Ian Hazakostas, you know, this is like the third time I've mentioned his name, and I'm not the only person who is blaming him squarely. It used to be Bashiok because Bashiok was a dick to the community. That's why he has an NPC in Gorgon where he's one of those tree assholes like, I am Bashiok! I am Bashiok! And he's a dick to everybody around him. He's gone. Ghostcrawler is gone. Nearly everybody that we used to look up to, you know, back during Vanilla and BC and Wrath and everything that we actually cared about listening to, all those people are gone or they have moved on to other projects. And now we're left solely with Ian Hazakostas. Like the blame is squarely on his shoulders. I mean, even uh uh fuck, I'm so pissed off I can't even think of his name right now. A lot of people have just kind of walked away. Chris Manson, that's how I say that. Chris Manson has just kind of walked away from World of Warcraft right now. They don't care. It's not that they don't care about the expansion. We all know that they have just washed their hands of it and said, no, fuck it, we're going to do other shit. They don't care about the community. And that's what bothers me. And like the whole idea, you know, well, this is a business call. They're trying to get as much money as possible, just like you and I predicted. And it's fine if they want to do that, but do it in a way that actually will get them more money. Don't cheat people out of money. And that's what that's what this whole phone call conference thing says to me is that they're trying to find as many ways as possible to get money from people, and they don't have to do that. Look at Hearthstone. Hearthstone is right now. Hearthstone has got more people playing it than are playing World of Warcraft. Hearthstone, dude, Hearthstone does. That's a fantastic game. It's a beautiful game. You can go really far in that game without spending any real money. You can go really far in World of Warcraft without spending any real money, except for right now because you know you have to spend money to play it. No, they're doing fantastic with that. Even Destiny is doing better than World of Warcraft right now. In their top 5 earnings in the call, they mentioned Destiny, Hearthstone, Diablo, StarCraft. That's it. Destiny, Diablo, Hearthstone, StarCraft, and wait, what was the other one? What was the other one? Um, Heroes of the Storm. That's it. Those 5 games are performing better than World of Warcraft, and one of those is Activision only. The other ones are Blizzard. That's horrible to me. It's horrifying to me. If World of Warcraft is still their pet project, they should put more time and effort into it. I would be willing to sit with
Wait,
Anon Jungle for.
wait. WoW is not their pet project anymore. It hasn't been their pet project for a long time now, at least since Wrath.
But
WoW
it is.
no, 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 no.
It is.
It is
It
there.
is.
No, no, no.
It is.
There's a difference. Wait. There's a difference. WoW has been their mainstay. It has been their flagship for a long time, but it hasn't been their pet project. They have not been fully focused on WoW for a very long time. Like we have said, they've been developing StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, and now Overwatch is coming. Those are their pet projects, especially Overwatch and Hearthstone, which Hearthstone is very quickly perhaps becoming the new flagship of Blizzard. WoW is the question of if Blizzard still cares or not, we can't determine from this call. We will know more in 2 days when we see the new expansion and we see what they're doing with that. We can't just um at a certain point you just have to say, okay, we have completely dropped the ball. We have failed in everything we tried to do. We're just gonna abandon ship and let's restart. And that's the question that we'll see. We'll have answered in 2 days when they do their press conference. Will the new expansion fix what is wrong with Warlords? If we see the same old type of thing, the same old type of mechanics, then clearly they are not only abandoning the expansion, they are abandoning WoW as a whole.
But see, that's what I'm deathly afraid of, for exactly the reasons you just mentioned.
But you can't be upset just from the conference call for that, though.
I
That's
can.
what I'm saying.
I
Well,
absolutely can.
now you're just being afraid. There's a difference. But this is what I expected. And for those of you that don't know, I studied business and I would be one of those men in suits talking about numbers, maybe. But this is what I expected. I expected subscription numbers to drop to around 6 million. It might be a little bit worse than I thought, but it's around what I expected. I expect the numbers to fluctuate highly from now on. Blizzard, or at least World of Warcraft, has lost much of its hardcore basis. Um, they're they're either grown in college, families, things like that take them away from the game, or they're playing other games at this point, or a mix of things, or they've just gotten tired of it. Um, WoW is a really, really old game now, and as much as we love it and want it to stick around forever, it it's going to start on the decline very soon. As much as they prop it back up, we're never going to see those 10 million figures again. We're probably not going to see those 8 million figures, even with a great new expansion. Even if they knock it out of the park, if we get something better than Wrath, I still would not ever expect to see WoW subscription numbers back up over 8 million. I really don't.
But see, like everything you just said, yes, I am afraid. I really am afraid because at least since Wrath, I remember people saying this game's coming out, it's going to be the WoW killer. No, this game's going to be the WoW killer. What's turning out to be the WoW killer is WoW itself.
And I have
It's
always
pitiful.
said I've always said that the only thing that can kill WoW is WoW itself. And that wasn't just to say that, um, that they're just going to mess up so bad that it'll just die one day. That's to say that the game's lifespan itself will just eventually eat away at it slowly but surely. And we've seen that. We've seen that from Wrath. Wrath was the pinnacle of WoW. There's no question about that. Some people would argue Burning Crusade was better, but whatever. WoW was, or Wrath was clearly the pinnacle of WoW. It undoubtedly. And I don't think they can top Wrath. I really don't. I don't think they have a story that's strong enough. I don't think they have the time or the money or the dedication. Well, I mean, they clearly have the money, but I don't think they have the time or the dedication. And I don't know what they can do to recapture the magic of Wrath. I really don't. Tell me another story that they can do that will match Wrath's story.
The Burning Legion.
Maybe.
No, that's it. That's it. Blizzard could have. See, here's the thing. I would have easily.
Well,
Okay. This. Okay.
uh,
Okay.
well,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
wait,
Okay.
just
Okay.
just one, just
Hang
one
on.
last
Hang
point,
on.
one last point, one last point. Just that, although the Burning Legion is a worse threat in lore and story wise, and a much more dangerous threat than the Lich King, I think the Lich King is the best villain that WoW has, or has ever had, or will ever have. I don't think, and I think that is a big deal, because a game like WoW needs a big villain. They need a villain that you feel personally connected to in some way, that you personally fear. And they try to do that in a lot of ways with Garage, but they never obtained that sense of connection or personality, and that that's why, even if they did the Burning Legion expansion, which I would be thrilled and happy as heck if they did, I still don't think they'll be able to match Wrath.
Well, but see, here's my take on this. If okay, people who played Warcraft 3, me, remember, like, even though I played Warcraft 3 after Wrath came out, um, the Burning Legion has consistently been there. It has always been the number one threat to safety of Azeroth. The lore clearly establishes that the Titans gave a shit about us. I mean, by us, I mean Planet Azeroth. Uh, it seems to be that Azeroth is the only planet thus far that they put Guardians on. It's the only planet thus far that they went to the extent of, you know, forcing the original inhabitants of the planet into like a prison. Um, it's the only planet thus far that the Burning Legion has come after that we know about, that they had to be like a vampire and knock on the door and say, "Can I come in?" The person says yes. The Legion has been invited in to a small extent, but it's just been like a foot in the door. Um, what I see happening is, assuming, Blizzard actually does something like this, and they they have to at some point in time do it. They have to, because Khadgar even says this isn't over. He says it's not over. Like after you kill Archimonde, he says this isn't over. Okay, so that means that it if they don't do this, if we get the fabled South Seas expansion, or we get the Emerald Dream, or another troll uh, instance, I think the game will actually die. What they need to do, what they have to do, they have to, in order to bring back the older players, those of us, who've been playing since before Mr. Pandaria Cataclysm, the only thing they can do is bring back the threat of the Legion. They're going to have to, because it was there in Vanilla. It was there for sure in Burning Crusade. It was damn sure there in Wrath of the Lich King, because the Lich King, like, he's still my favorite villain. He is for a lot of people. But the truth is, the Lich King is a result of the Legion. Uh, Burning Crusade, Illidan and the Blood Elves are a result of the Burning Legion. Cataclysm kind of skips it a little bit, uh, except for you have to deal with the elementals rising up. Ragnaros being angry. He's angry because the Titans locked him away, and then, yeah, the Titans are the enemies of the Legion, so it kind of deals with that. And then you have Mr. Pandaria, which seemingly skips everything except for one very important thing: Wrathion. Actually, no. Cataclysm it goes even deeper than that because that's when it brings in uh Deathwing, and you go back in time and you see the Legion attacking the elves and everything. Uh, Deathwing's remaining child is Rathion. So Rathion comes along in Mr. Pandaria, and he's like, you know, you and your enemy faction are going to have to work together because if you don't, you're going to die. And there's like this little, image thing that shows infernals raining down from the sky. Well, uh, come Warlords of Draenor, we find out that the uh, the Legion is popping back up because Gul'dan is just being an asshole to everybody, and what you see is the Draenei and the Orcs having to work together. The world has to band together. So if that is the fulfillment of Rathion's prophecy, what the fuck? Really? That's a letdown if that's what it is. But what it needs to be is
No,
the Legion.
there's no way. There's no way that's Raphael's prophecy.
But see, I'm really genuinely hoping it's not. But and assuming it's not, and it, I would almost put money on the next expansion dealing with the Legion. I'm really close to saying that's what it's
Well,
going to be.
even if
Uh,
it was the South Seas would be a Legion expansion because Asaro is, the one who invited the
yeah,
Legion in.
yeah, it would be, but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It has to be. The reason it has to be is because that's the only thing that they can really do. Like out of everything else they could add to the game to try and keep the story going, that's the biggie right there. That is the big one. Now again, with Khadgar saying it's not over, and Rathion threatening it, like everything has been pointing to that for 10 years now. It has to be what it is. That is the only option Blizzard has, and if I if I just knew right now, right at this moment, that the next expansion was going to deal with the Legion, and we defeated the Legion, after one maybe two expansions, I would be happy. I would be willing to wait another 14 months and do Tanan Jungle bullshit every day if that's what we got. If that was the finality of World of Warcraft, was beating the Legion and seeing the world saved for good, like actually defeating the Legion, I'd be happy with that. I really would be. But my fear, genuine fear here, is that Blizzard will do like they did with Warlords of Draenor and give us some meaningless penny ante bullshit to go do, and it's going to be the same thing over and over again, and they're going to lose more subscribers. Now, see, like you, I figured we would lose subscribers. I knew we had been, because there's a lot of people I've noticed just simply have not been playing. Yourself being among those people. Um, but what I did not expect was for it to be that big of a loss. I did not expect for during this phone call for anyone to say that well, we're just going to just do other things because we're not going to bother to fix this. That's frightening. That really is. And uh,
It. I'm
eh,
not surprised. I am not surprised at all.
we'll see. We'll
This
see.
is this
See,
is
here's
what
the
I
thing.
expect. This is what I expected.
Here's the thing. I expected. I really did. I just didn't think it would be that bad. And going back and generally looking at everything, you can tell I give a shit about this. But going back and looking at it, it seems a lot worse. Like it's actually a lot worse than I initially thought. Because like I said, the actual subscriber numbers are a hell of a lot lower than what we're being told. But yet profits are up. Now, we could have said, before all of this, in fact, I believe we did, that we were going to see, a subscription change, whether it was going to be a little higher, a little lower. We all knew that was coming. But we also knew that Blizzard was going to announce that they're earning more money. But they're earning more money by giving us effectively less content for the game that is, well, it's now their number two draw. And for 10 years, it's been their number one. Now, it may no longer be the flagship, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. But it's, with the exception of Hearthstone, it's the most popular game that they have. And as far as MMOs go, it is the most popular one. And I'm afraid that Blizzard is going to keep losing more and more money because they're just going to fuck up the game. And that's sad. I mean, it's to the point that I'm wondering if I'm ever going to quit. I mean, when I'm going to quit, not whenever. Because I've said for the longest time now that I'll be the last person that's in our guild. Like I'll die, knowing that I was the last person in the guild after everyone else quit. And I'm kind of wondering right now, is that going to be sooner than I expected? Because like you said, uh, we've known for a long time, that WoW was going to lose some of its standing, but even Mr. Pandaria wasn't this bad. Cataclysm wasn't this bad. Like as far as subscriber numbers go, Warlords of Draenor has effectively hobbled the game. Like it's like something just walked up and broke both the ankles of the game, and it's falling over right now. And that actually is a little bit scary.
I think part of the problem is a lot of WoW's players and fans have always thought of it as this invincible thing that that could never be toppled, and or that would always persevere. And I mean, yeah, the subscription numbers are down, and I would disagree about the WoW token thing not counting as subscribers. I would say subscribers are anyone that's actively bothering to play continually every month. So I would still count them as subscribers. But clearly, I mean, the game is on the downward spiral. It's slowly, having problems, and it we've
sad.
Blizzard. No, not only is it, well, I mean, it is sad, but Blizzard is committed to keeping going with WoW. We've seen that. We hear them say they plan for at least another, what, like 10 years or something.
Yeah, yeah. They've said that they have enough material to go for 10 more years. Well, if this current expansion has halved the number of your player base, it kind of makes me wonder, what are they going to squeeze out of us next? Like what are they going to manage to come up with to keep the game afloat? Because I mean, for
They
the
could not release any expansions, and they would still have probably at least a million people playing for another 3 years or something.
well, see, like a portion of that would be people like me who are completionists. Like I want to do everything in the game that I can. Like if the game ends at Gamescom tomorrow, or I mean next 2 days, whatever it is, like if this is the final expansion ever, I will still play for as long as I can to try and finish everything I possibly can, because I want to. Like I would like to have say, I'd like to be able to say at some point in time that I did everything and I saw everything in the game, you know. But there's a lot of people who are just saying no. I'm no longer interested in seeing everything and doing everything because it's boring, and I
Yeah,
don't
and
blame them.
that's natural. I mean, that's natural. It's to be expected, and I don't think this is by far close to the death of WoW. Honestly, the death of WoW would be when we see the numbers go down to 2 million. 1 million. That's going to be the death of WoW. This is WoW in its old age. That's what this is really. WoW is starting to feel its age in its community, in its development, in its expansions. We can tell that. And this next expansion might, it might be great. It might be, just as good as Wrath was, or even better. Or, it might be terrible. It might be another Warlords or Cataclysm. There's no way to tell right now. But either way, it is not the death of WoW. WoW will keep going on. WoW is strong enough now, even still, even at 5.8 million, even if they never got it back up above 6 million, it would still by far be the best MMO, or, the most subscribed MMO by far. There is nothing even close to it. Even with Final Fantasy XIV on the rise, it is still not even close to WoW.
I'm disappointed. I really genuinely am, to be honest, because I expected. I think that I'm. Excuse me. I think I'm in the boat here with a lot of people. Asmongold, Az from Heel versus Babyface, Bellular. A lot of people who are pretty popular for doing their WoW videos. I think that I'm probably in the same boat as them. I expected there to be some sign of hope, that Warlords was getting better. Like, I secretly wanted to see more people coming back, say spending $15 and getting their account reactivated, and then going out of their way to earn money. And like, I know one person who's done that. They have decided to save actual money. They're just going to play on gold, so they're busting their ass to try and get 25,000 gold, whatever. And currently they're paid up until November, and that's cool. Like, that's awesome to do that. But what I'm, like when I looked at the actual numbers, I was like, no, they're that's not what we're getting now. The reason I say, that the people who are uh, buying the WoW tokens are not actual subscribers is because Blizzard actually does define their subscribers. It's someone who pays their subscription fee. That's
Yeah,
that's the
but
way they've always looked at it. So what you have is X number of people are paying $20 a month
wait,
just to get their gold.
wait, hold on a second. They have to define the subscribers on a different basis so that they can keep track of, how well the WoW tokens are doing. They, that's information they need to know. However, and companies define things differently all the time. But if we're just talking about a general subscriber, anyone who's bothering to play the game for any period of time during a month's time, a month's playtime, is a subscriber. There's no other way to look at it.
But there is the reason being that, okay, when they talk about subscriber, they're talking about someone who pays actual money. Okay, so this 5 million, whatever it is, hang on, the 5 million, whatever it is we're talking about, are
some people don't have the money to play. We all know that the economy sucks for a lot of people. We all know that, things are hard for a lot of people. Giving them the opportunity to play for not, through WoW tokens is, in my mind, does not make them automatically not a subscriber. I think that's an unfair distinction.
But it's not, because, like I said, Blizzard has traditionally defined, a subscriber as someone who pays money, like someone they actually make money off of. Now, granted, if you buy a WoW token, Blizzard's making money off of you, but in reality, they're only making the money off of the person who actually bought the token. And they had to increase the cost of that to make more money off of that one person. So that's why I'm saying if you remove the people who are buying WoW tokens to keep, their playtime going,
But
you're
we don't
looking at
know
a
how
you're looking at a substantially lower number of people than what
yeah,
we're being
but
told are actually paying to play the game.
we don't know how many of those people would still pay. That's the problem. You don't know, like you said, it might be 1 million people on WoW tokens. 80% of them could still be playing if there are no WoW tokens. It's just, it makes sense for them to use the WoW token.
Well, but
That
see,
doesn't mean
would,
that
and are
subscribers are worse.
could, would, and are different things. And like I said, again, this is a second, maybe third expansion in a row. We've been told that it's people in Asia, because they pay by the hour or whatever it is. Okay, they added in their own way to do that by the hour. Instead, we have here, we pay by the month. So if most of the subscribers are people in Asia that are paying by the hour or whatever it is to be able to play, that must mean there's a lot more Asians who play, or people in the East in general who play more than there are anyone else in the world. And if you look at the number of subscribers, the United States is consistently the number one. It always has been. It's not people, over in South Korea or China or Vietnam or anywhere else. It's always in the United States where you have the highest subscribers. The second highest is Europe, followed by, South America, and then whatever. No, Blizzard and Activision keep blaming it on the people over in, on the Asian continent, and that's simply not the truth. That excuse does not buy it. It doesn't work for me anymore. What we have is people in the U.S., in Europe, in South America, in everywhere else in the world that are saying no, we don't want to play anymore, and that's or whether we don't want to actually pay our money to play. We want to have someone else pay it, and that's what you get when you buy the WoW token. You're paying extra money, and then you're selling it for in-game currency. Blizzard is pocketing an extra like $5 or $10 or whatever it is that they're pocketing off of one individual. The people who are getting the tokens are effectively paying for free. They're playing for free. Like they're not paying a dime. Someone else is. So to find out what your actual subscriber numbers are, you have to remove them. If you go by the traditional definition that Blizzard has had, and that's someone who actually pays money to play. Now, if you want to alter that description, sure, that's fine and dandy. But then you would have to add in the people who do the trial account, which you can play for like 2 or 3 months at a time, whatever, how long it is, and the people who do the veteran account, which is where they come back and they can join a guild and everything. You would have to include them too, and Blizzard
Well,
doesn't.
no, you
No,
wouldn't.
yes,
No, no,
yes,
no.
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you
No,
do.
no, no, no,
Those,
no.
those,
Wait, 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 wait,
now
wait,
look,
wait,
now
wait.
look, now look. Hang on,
Wait, John, wait, John, wait. Listen, you can't include those because the trial version, the people haven't paid for the game yet. They haven't paid for the expansions yet. They haven't, and which is, a significant cost. They aren't really subscribers yet. They're just on a trial version. That's a completely different platform or thing to talk about. And even the veteran accounts coming back, sure, they come back for a second, but you can't really list them as subscribers until they start subscribing again. Whether they do that through WoW
that's
tokens
right.
or
Until they start paying money, because like I
well, yeah,
said,
no, but WoW tokens are a form of money for them to
but
pay.
they're not. They're
They
not.
are.
They're
No,
not. Look, okay, dude. Okay,
John,
like I said,
you're just obsessed with WoW tokens for some reason, and I'm completely baffled by why. It,
because if you okay, if you go back to some of our earlier conversations on the show, I brought it up all the time. I was worried about it way back when it was announced because I figured, and turns out I figured correctly, that there were going to be a large number of people who were going to shift to be doing that, and that was going to cause a problem. And what it is we're being told there's like 5.5 million
But
subscribers
wait,
right now.
what problem is it causing?
The problem it's causing is the subscriber numbers are lower than what we're being told. Blizzard has
That
said,
has nothing to do with
said,
the WoW tokens.
but it has everything to do with it because Blizzard said that during their earnings call that that number includes people who are buying WoW tokens. Now, their traditional definition of subscriber is someone who pays a monthly fee or
Yeah,
whatever it
but that
is.
was
Whatever.
before the WoW tokens.
Hang on. It's someone who pays a month actual money. They actually make money off these individuals in order to play. So if you remove that, because you kind of have to go with their traditional example, you're looking at a much lower number of people who are actually paying to play a subscription-based game. Getting a WoW token is not a subscription. You can let your subscription run out and you can cancel your subscription and still play by using in-game tokens. You can still play doing that. You can
But
play
like,
doing the trial.
wait,
You hang on. Let me finish this one point. You can play using the trial version. You can play using the veteran thing, and you don't pay for those. So if you're going to call a person who's keeping their quote unquote subscription active with WoW tokens as a subscriber, then you're going to have to include everybody else who is free to play.
John, that makes absolutely no sense.
But it does make sense.
It doesn't. John, it doesn't make sense because the WoW token is a completely different animal from the trial or the veteran thing. It's completely different because
it is.
the WoW token represents an investment into the game, whether that's through gold for the currency, which means you have to spend time playing the game to earn the currency in the first place. Now, the trial is just a trial. You don't need to include that. It doesn't make sense to include that. And the veteran thing doesn't make sense to include that because they're not investing time into the game again until they have renewed their subscription, either through money or through the WoW token. The WoW token doesn't make any sense to differentiate the number of subscribers they have, purely because as long as the WoW tokens are active, that's the subscribers are the number of people actively playing and actively trying to play the game, which would include anyone on the WoW token. And you have to look at it from that perspective. Just trying to base it off who pays real money doesn't make any sense in a system where you have the WoW token. And the WoW token doesn't necessarily mean that the subscription numbers would be significantly worse if there was no WoW token either. Lots of people have so much gold to throw away in the game that they can easily buy, especially older players, they can easily buy a month's worth of, or I mean, not months, a year's worth of WoW tokens easily with no problem. And, just sit on that all day or for an entire year.
See,
Especially anyone.
Here's the funny thing. I know several people who do that. At least one of the people that I mentioned earlier does that. He no longer considers himself a subscriber. There's another person that I've watched on YouTube who pays with WoW tokens. He does not consider himself a subscriber. Okay? So if there are people who say, I'm not actively subscribed to the game because I'm not paying real money for it, I went ahead and canceled my real money subscription, and I'm just keeping to play with WoW tokens, that means you do have to remove the people who play with WoW tokens from the subscriber total.
But
Because
even that statement doesn't make sense.
but
Why would you even get the WoW tokens if you're not playing the game? if you're
No, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're playing the game, but they're
no, but
playing it for free.
but
They're
they're
not. They don't consider themselves an active subscriber. And like
well.
I said,
Oh,
Blizzard
oh, okay.
traditionally has
Hold
called
on,
a.
hold on. When we talk about subscribers, we're talking about players. We're talking about players that actively play the game. That's what we're really talking about.
I'm talking about individuals who pay money to a company. Now, initially, you said we're talking about an earnings thing, right? So earnings would be money. Okay,
Yeah,
actual money. Now, if you
but
spend $20 or whatever it is to get a WoW token, Blizzard has just pocketed an extra $5 from one person. They've
yeah,
pocketed from one person. Now, if the WoW tokens person, let's say I go buy one for $20, whatever the hell it is right now. Okay, now that's $15 for my 1 month because that's just automatic. A second person is going to be spending their gold, which I guess could be $5. But now, what's going to make more money? What's actually going to make more money?
actually,
Selling
their
a
gold
bunch.
would be worth $20.
What's going to be a larger source of income here? Having two people paying $15 or having one person pay 20? Which one of those is going to make more money, Mr. Economist?
The one person paying 20.
No.
Yeah,
If you have
because you're not
no,
counting the no, you're not
uh,
counting
uh,
them
uh,
paying the original $15.
uh, 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 uh,
They're
uh, uh,
no, they're paying
no,
$35.
no,
John,
no.
John, they're
Listen
paying
to me.
35.
Listen to
No,
me.
no,
Listen to
no,
me.
no,
Listen
no,
to me. Listen to me.
no.
Listen to me.
John, who is the accountant?
Which one of us has looked very intimately at the WoW token
Who
system?
is the accountant?
Which one of us has looked
Who
very intimately?
has a
Which
degree
one of
from
us?
a
Which one
university
of us?
in accounting?
Which one of us has looked
John,
intimately at the
John,
WoW token
John,
program?
John, John. In order for there to be a WoW token, someone has to pay $20. In order to buy the WoW token, they have to be subscribed from either buying a WoW token in game earlier, or
Okay.
from
So let me stop
or
you right there.
wait,
Let me.
no, 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 stop, seriously, stop for a second, goddamn, wait. Any WoW token in the game is purchased by a player, which means they were at least originally paying $15. The WoW token costs another $20. That means that Blizzard has made $35. If we have two individuals that only pay $15 each, that means they only made $30. So, which one makes more money? The WoW token makes more money.
Nope. You're talking about a perfect world scenario. In reality, everyone I know who buys the WoW tokens and plays has stopped paying actual money. Blizzard is not getting $15 from them. They're getting nothing from those people.
But
They're
they're
getting
getting the money from the
nope.
WoW tokens.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're getting an extra $5. The WoW token is like 25. Is $20. Okay, a
John,
month. No, no. Listen to
no,
me. A
no, no.
listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. A month subscription fee. A month to play World of Warcraft is $15. The WoW
Yes,
token is 20. It's
yes.
$5 extra. That $5 has to go somewhere, and it goes to Blizzard. So that means when you buy a WoW token, you're buying 1 month plus an extra $5 to go directly to Blizzard. And what happens is when someone buys a WoW token for in-game gold, what they're doing is they're spending a non-existent currency on a real currency. Okay, the only person who spent actual money here is the person who bought the WoW token. And what it is that's keeping Blizzard earning so much money off of this is the people who want to get gold cap on X numbers of characters are buying multiple tokens. And there's actually a
That
term for this.
means,
There's actually a term for this. It's called a whaler. Okay, the
but
whale.
John,
The
John,
whale. No, I listen to you explain. You're gonna listen to me explain. The people who are
you're
buying the token.
completely wrong though.
I'm not. I'm actually not. Because I've spent a long time looking at this and understanding how it is that it works. And everyone that I know who buys the WoW tokens to play will tell you exactly what I'm telling you right now. They're not paying money. They've canceled their actual
I
monthly
know that.
subscription fee. Okay, then. If you fucking know it, then you know that Blizzard is not making that $15 a month. 15
Yes,
plus
they're making
15,
$20.
15 plus
They're
15.
making John. John.
If look, no, look, this is basic math. 15 plus
If
15
I
is
buy
30.
a WoW token, does it pay for my subscription? If I pay
Again,
$20 to Blizzard, does it pay?
again, again, again. People who are getting the WoW token are re-upping their account, so they're spending 15 bucks, then they're canceling it. They're getting that money back because they don't pay it. If the payment never goes through, because once they re-up, they buy the token. That means the burden is shifted over onto someone else. The person who bought the token did not ever spend their $15 because the payment was fucking canceled. That is not Blizzard getting $35. That is Blizzard getting 20 or 25, whatever the hell it is. Okay, they're pocketing $5. I have been saying this shit for 6 months now. They're pocketing $5 off of another person. Okay, so when you buy the WoW token, you're spending your 25,000 gold or whatever it is, and you can say, "I'm the economist. I know what I'm talking about." No, we're talking about the World of Warcraft economy, which has been studied repeatedly to explain real world economies. There are people who are not you who are saying that this is not spending actual money. It's the same concept with Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin actual money? No, not according to a lot of people. What it is you're doing with gold is you're throwing your in-game currency away and you're effectively paying for free. WoW for those people is free to, it is almost free to play. All it takes them is a little bit of time, and I mean you can make 25,000 gold if you know what you're doing in a day and a half.
Hold on.
What's keeping it
Wait,
alive
wait.
right now?
John,
What's keeping it
wait
alive
for
right
one
now?
second.
What's keeping it alive right now is the people who are spending their $20 to buy multiple WoW tokens and then selling them. That's it.
Wait 1 second. If I buy, okay, let's say I'm a player, right? I go to purchase a WoW token for $20. How does that affect my subscription?
If you purchase the WoW token and you activate it, your playtime is paid for with your actual money. If you put it on the auction house, which everyone does, you see what once you have purchased the WoW token, you've got your playtime, okay? Now, once you've used that, even if you put it on the auction house, your playtime is still paid for, okay? If you put it on the auction house, an individual is going to buy it. Their pay time is paid for by you at the same time that you bought yours for the same amount of money. There is no dual money being earned there. If you and I both we're go to buy a month's worth of playtime right now, that would be 15 from each of us. That would be $30 total. If I went to go buy a WoW token and I sold it to you, that would still only be $20 because you wouldn't be paying any money. 30 is higher than 20, Nick.
The WoW token doesn't pay for my it doesn't count for the person that bought it, though.
But it does.
It does not.
But it does, because again, let's say you re-up your subscription. Okay, that's $15. Now you want to pay the next month with or even the same month you're in with the WoW token. What you do, you buy it, so there's your $20. You get your $15 back. Blizzard still earns $5 off of it.
How did they give you $15 back?
Because you can cancel your real money thing. You can cancel that 1 month, but your subscription is still active because you're paying with the WoW token. Someone somewhere is paying 20 bucks. It's paying an extra $5 for you to make money. Now you're the economist here, okay? You're the economist here, and we've discussed this before. You can find numerous examples on YouTube, Facebook, whatever of people you want to talk to about them, about their WoW token experience, and the consensus seems to be they're not actually paying paying to play the game. Someone else is paying it. Okay, so that's why I'm saying if you want to get an accurate number of people who Blizzard is actually making money off of, and in a financial earnings conference call, that's what we're talking about is how much actual money, real money they're making. Their profits are going up, but that's because people are buying multiple WoW tokens and then selling them in game. People are spending $20 on a WoW token. That's the only thing keeping the game afloat right now. If all this imaginary gold was being transferred to real money, there would be no problem at all. Everyone would be able to play. But no, what you're seeing is subscription losses have gone down, after they added that free-to-play option in there, which means if, things are going to go up, because, we're adding in a way for you to pay with in-game currency, that means subscription losses would be going up, right? Because more people would be doing that. Instead, what you have is fewer people doing it. So even if you want to add in everyone who's going, who's buying the WoW token, you're still looking at lower subscription numbers, and Blizzard is still defining subscribers as someone who pays actual money. Actual people paying actual money has gone down. It's going to continue to go down. So that's why I'm saying to get the accurate number, you have to remove the people who are playing with WoW tokens, because clearly that is not a draw to keep them in the game. What's keeping people afloat, what's keeping the expansion, the game afloat right now, is people paying actual money, and that's people buying the tokens.
I feel like I need to open up a classroom setting with you and write this down on paper to make you see this properly.
You can write it down all you want to, but I've listened to what they've said. Okay, we're talking about post them adding this token in the game. The idea is that it will equate to a normal subscriber. Again, you're talking about a perfect world scenario. That's what you're talking about. You're effectively the WoW token is a socialist concept. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the idea that you're buying into the economy on your own. You are a part and parcel of the economy. You own a portion of it because you're either making gold or you're spending gold off of it, okay? It's not working. Socialism doesn't fucking work, folks. It's been proven before. Communism doesn't work either. Here's the proof of it right here in front of you.
John, WoW tokens are not to blame for the subscription loss.
But
the blame for the subscription loss is a terrible, terrible expansion. WoW tokens is just raging against something.
But again,
no. WoW tokens is raging against something completely irrelevant to the real problem.
But it's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant.
John. If you buy a WoW token, it does not redeem your 30-day subscription. It does not. It does not cancel your 30-day subscription.
Like I said,
I will go buy a WoW token right now. I will literally go. I will go literally buy a WoW token right now.
Includes
Do you want me to go buy the? I will go spend $20 right now to prove this to you.
We're losing. Okay, the point being, Blizzard is Blizzard. No. The point being, Blizzard is getting their money, but they're having to get it from other games because Q2 started with the WoW token being added in. And if you remember, we discussed this back then. The idea was, hey, that'll bring more people back into the game. The way it was described was it's the equivalent of spending actual money. As it turns out, 3 months later, the token was introduced in like April, whatever. As it turns out, a few months later, that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing fewer people playing the game now. Blizzard. No, damn it, no.
You just said that the WoW subscription is more like 4 million instead of, or was it 5.8 right now because of the WoW token? That means that we have more people playing because of the WoW token. How many of those?
No, it does not. No, it does not. And here's
Yeah,
why.
that's
Here's why. Here's why. Blizzard consistently has said for 2 or 3 expansions now that people over in the on the Asian servers are not playing. They're actually blaming this one on Diablo 3. They're saying they have lost that many people over in Asia because of Diablo 3. Now it's a known fact, and this is the reason why gold farmers were so prevalent for so long. And this is the and the WoW token was introduced to try and counteract them. The idea was that these people wanted to play, you had to pay hour by hour. So there was a thing that you could add in. It was the granddaddy of the WoW token that we have right now, and supposedly it was going to allow more people to play. No, Blizzard's number one game over in that part of the world has for a very long time been StarCraft. And now that Diablo's in, Diablo's doing better, but Diablo is also free to fucking play. So is StarCraft. You don't pay a subscription fee for that. What you're seeing is fewer fucking subscribers. Blizzard is making less money than they were at this point during Warlords of Mist of Pandaria, Cataclysm, Wrath of the Lich King, Burning Crusade, and Vanilla. They're making less money off of it, so they're having to find other ways to do it. And one of the ways they wanted to do it was adding in the WoW token. The WoW token is a huge problem. I've been saying it all along. I'm not the only one who's been questioning the capability of the WoW tokens making Blizzard more money. And clearly, they're not making as much money, which means the WoW token is making them lose money because they have X number of people who are not spending actual money, which is what they consider a subscriber to be. How is it that I'm wrong?
an incredible number of ways. I literally want to take you into a classroom and sit you down and just go over this with you. But for starters, if someone is buying the WoW token for $20, that represents the money that that other person was going to spend in the first place. If the person wasn't going to spend that money in the first place, that means that Blizzard made $20 that they would not have made at all earlier. Because the other person wouldn't have paid the $15. So they just netted $20 instead of not having $15. Number one. Number two.
But again, also, by the way, we are way the hell over. We're almost an hour and a half at this point in time. So I think it might be a good idea just, to put a pin in this because clearly we're not going to get anywhere. I'm stonewalling you and you're stonewalling me. I'm still right, everybody. So I think
yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna go take John and put him in the economics class.
Fuck off.
And teach him how to do math.
I think what we're gonna do is just gonna have to call it right now because we're like 2 days away from finding out. So either Nick is right okay, look at it this way. Either Nick is right and everything's gonna be okay, or I'm right and there's been the first death nail driven into the coffin for World of Warcraft.
I'm pretty sure when we watch the revealing, we'll have a much more fun episode. I'm pretty sure
we will, but also okay, that's going to be as soon after that as possible. So like it may be a good idea for you and I, and maybe Danny if she joins. I'm not sure. If we're all on, we all watch it together, and then we just go right to that, which is probably a good idea. It seems to be that Bellular, Asmongold, Perculia, and Panzer, and everyone else seems to be doing it. So we'll probably just follow suit and do that. But as soon as possible after it's announced, we'll give our reactions. So let's hope that everything's okay.
Yep. Goodbye.
Okay, yeah. I'll have to go educate you later on this, Nick. So,
yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, keep an eye out, for uh, our little discussion about it on Thursday. Friday show's coming up. Um, Danny may or may not be here. I don't know, but keep her and her family in your thoughts or prayers or what have you. Like us on Facebook, like, comment, share, subscribe to this video. Have a good night again for the second night, and talk to all of you later.
Love you, Danny. Good night.
Bye bye.